Hi friends, my name is Chloe Taylor and I am the creator of kozykale, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how you can celebrate Yule or the Winter Solstice. So if you want to know a little bit about the history and background as well as how you can celebrate inside and outside of the broom closet, stick with me. So what is Yule? Yule is known also as the Winter Solstice, and it takes place on usually December 21st in the Western Hemisphere. And basically how you can tell if it's Yule or not is by charting the sun. So when the sun actually enters 0 degrees of Capricorn, that is how you will know that it is officially Yule. Yule actually is not just a singular day though. It actually lasts from the start of the winter solstice, which usually around the 21st, and most people will celebrate until the 2nd of January. So it actually takes us through, what is that, about like an entire week plus? It's quite a few days. It's like 10 days of celebration. So you can choose to celebrate on one day, on multiple days. It doesn't really matter. I usually only celebrate on one day, and it usually is on the winter solstice, but sometimes I have been known to celebrate it on what is now known today because of modern Christianity as Christmas. Why do we celebrate Yule though? Yule actually is the celebration of the sun. And no, I'm not talking about the Son of God. I'm not talking about Christ. I'm talking about the sun in the sky. It is actually a holiday that marks the time where the sun in the sky, the daytime, the daylight hours actually start to get longer. And so a lot of the traditions are very symbolic of honoring the sun, because without the sun, there's a lot of things on this planet we would not have, including our own lives. So it's mostly about expressing gratitude and celebrating the sun after a long, cold, harsh, freaking, I don't even know what you call that because it's not really winter yet because we're starting winter, but I feel like it's like the celebration that we will make it through the cold, hard months because we've already been doing it. So whether you are inside or outside of the broom closet, it's actually very, very easy to celebrate Yule, especially if you are in a home where the prominent space is more in terms of Christianity, because they are very linked to each other. The celebration and the spirit is different, but a lot of the actions are very much the same because Christianity actually takes, I would say, most, if not all, of their traditions from paganism. So a lot of the traditions are the same. They are just done for different reasons. So it's all about the spirit in which you do things. I actually find this to be true about most, if not all, witchcraft. It's all about intention. So if your intentions are different, you're still doing the celebration. It's just from your perspective. So one of the big ways that you can celebrate is something that is so easy and something you're probably already doing. Like I said, especially if you are in a home that celebrates more of a Christmas feel. Unfortunately, I don't really know a lot about any other religious holidays. I'm sorry, I'm uneducated. It's something that I would like to advance on in the future, but I grew up in a Christian-based faith and I am now more just on a spiritual side of things that is different. I'm into a more witchcraft and Buddhist type path, but one of the biggest ways that you can celebrate if you're in or out of the broom closet is with your tree, a Yuletide tree. So before the Victorian era came about, we actually didn't celebrate that way. Most people did not have Christmas trees. That was not a thing. And the reason that we actually used to bring them in back in pre-Christian Europe was because they are the only tree, or maybe one of the only trees. I don't know if it's factually the only tree, but one of the only trees that actually stays green through the winter months. And so they are a huge symbol of surviving the cold winter or surviving the colder times, the darker parts of the year. It's about overcoming obstacles and being very symbolic of overcoming just harder times. And so people would bring in these trees and then adorn them with ornaments that were circular shaped, because the circular shaped ornaments were actually very symbolic of the sun as well. It's all about intention and honoring the sun with Yuletide. So any way that you can bring in circular shaped items, the colors green, red, and gold in particular, but green is also a Yuletide color, but red and gold very much so. If you a Gryffindor, you already got it covered with the red and the gold. But just decorating the tree with that intention of, wow, look at how far I've come this year. Look at how much I've accomplished. We still have a long way to go, but we're going to make it through. So that's a really big way that you can use that as a celebratory moment for you, no matter who you are, who you're with, or what anyone's beliefs are around you. Just use your intention. Another great way to celebrate is with your body movement. And no, I'm not going to tell you to go outside and run when it's like 2 below and snowing. No, if you just open up the blinds in your room or the curtains and actually practice what is called a sun salutation. This is a yogi practice or a yoga practice, and you can find tons of free videos online that teach sun salutations, but they are a way that you can actually move your body, and there are certain movements that kind of arc your chest towards the sun. So just doing that with the sunrise is such a good way to honor the sun and also honor your own body at the same time, and just give thanks and gratitude for all that the sun provides for you as you're doing this practice. Another way that you can celebrate, if you're fortunate enough to have a fireplace, a real working fireplace. I only have a fake one, so I can't do this one unless I want to go outside and use my fire pit, which is way too cold for that. But you might be in an area where it is warm enough to do that. So this one might be something you'd want to consider. But if you have a log that you like either got yourself, or it's even better if it like comes from the end of your tree, like your Christmas tree or Yuletide tree. If it comes from your tree and it's just the end, go and actually burn that, because the fire symbolizes the sun as well, very symbolic. And it's also really good practice to keep a piece of it, keep a piece of that log and actually burn it with next year's log, and keep a piece of next year's log, burn it with the following year. Do you see what I'm saying? So it kind of just like carries the tradition down year after year after year, which is very special. And it is a mark of just like a warm hearth and home that is, you know, warmth of the sun, fire symbolizes the sun. Again, all very symbolic. Those are just the few ways that I'm very accustomed to celebrating. You can also choose to redecorate your altar, adorning it with little trees. That's what I do. Gathering things of the season, maybe even leaving some bread out for your ancestors or a glass of wine. That's something I traditionally do on big holidays, is I will always leave out a little bit of dinner plate for my ancestors, as well as maybe a glass of wine or a shot of alcohol or something, whatever we're drinking that night. If it's just water, then water's what they get. Though I do find they tend to be a little bit more pleased when it's alcohol. I feel like they actually ask for that more often than not, which is really interesting. But you can leave out offerings on your altar. You can adorn your altar with holiday lights, with ornaments, with anything that again is symbolic to the sun. You can leave like actual ornaments, like little mini ones on there. You can get little tiny trees from the dollar section from Target if you have a Target close to you. You can even use like rosemary bushes. Like if you have a rosemary plant, it looks a lot like a tree. You could decorate that and put it on your altar if you are fortunate enough to have an altar space. If you are in the broom closet, you can still do that. And you know, it's just a little baby Christmas tree in your room or in your whatever space that you're using to honor the Yuletide time. So I feel like this holiday really is very easy to celebrate no matter where you are on your path. Even if you don't consider yourself to be a witch and you just want to give thanks and gratitude to the sun, period. It's just good practice. Gratitude is a good practice, period. So I feel like the more gratitude I surrender myself to and offer up, I tend to live a much more fulfilling life and feel more satisfied with the quality of my life. So yes, it's a good excuse to get in touch with that, but doing it every day is also great. I feel like that's something we should always remind ourselves of, no matter what holiday is upon us. Like the witches' Thanksgiving or Samhain that I celebrated this year, that was something I really like to bring up around that holiday as well. It's like, yeah, give thanks and gratitude, but like also do that all year long because it's just a really good practice anyways. But it's also about bringing those that you love and care about close to you and showing gratitude for them, giving love to them, and you know, just keeping the spirit of gratitude in your heart. I feel like that's all it really is about at its core. And it's the same if you're celebrating Christmas. That's really what it's about at your core. At the core of it, it's all about love and gratitude. Now, how I'm going to celebrate, I honestly don't really know yet. As I'm filming this video, it's a little too soon. We originally, me and my husband, were going to make tamales this year because we've never made vegan tamales. And it's something that is a tradition in his family to make non-vegan tamales. But we haven't made them since we went vegan. And it was something that we had carried on the tradition on our own because we don't live by our families. It was something that we had carried the tradition on our own. And actually, like, we used to do tamales before. It's a Hispanic culture tradition to do tamales. So that was something we talked about doing this year, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I know that I will be cleaning my altar space, giving it a nice refresher, saying thank you to those that came before me. I will definitely be waking up on the day of the winter solstice and doing sun salutations with the sun. I will also probably cook a very intricate meal. Kitchen witchery is the thing that I excel at the most, so I tend to do a lot of cooking. I may wait until a later date for cooking though, because on the day of the winter solstice, I'm going to see Star Wars. So I feel like that's another thing to know, is that, like, yes, the day is important, but, like, you know, move it around if you got to. You have until January 2nd. You can really celebrate whenever you want to, but you have time. Don't try to cram everything in on one day, especially if it's a new practice for you. But those are some of the things I know I'm going to get up to. And make sure you're following me on Instagram, because I guarantee you whatever I do, I will share it on my Instagram stories. I am on Instagram stories almost every day, talking to you guys, asking you guys questions, getting up in my DMs and talking to you. So please come follow me on Instagram. It would really mean the world to me. And I think that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so very, 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 very much for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm grateful for you guys and for this experience, for this channel. I hope you guys have really enjoyed December's content this year, as we're starting to come up to the close of it, and then we'll be starting new stuff in January. So I hope you guys have been enjoying all of this, and I look forward to talking to you guys in the next video. Thank you again so very much. And oh, one last thing. Please don't forget to check out my podcast, Twin Flames. It will be coming back December 30th. We're launching season 2. We put a lot of work into this, so we're very excited. So it's available everywhere that you listen to podcasts. Links down below, and I will see you guys in a future video. Bye. All right, motherfucks, take 2. I just tried to film this video, and looking at this ring light without glasses when you wear glasses is torture. I would say probably one of the major differences though is that we as